All right, YouTube. So, there's a new company out right now, and two companies merged. One is Just Vive, and the other one is Ideal Advocates. It kind of became one company. Now, their claims are that they can help you get like the lowest rates and the lowest, best deals, and they can help you, cut costs. Now, the fact of the matter, is it true or is it false? Well, I happen to know firsthand that it is true. All right, so the way the story goes is Ideal Advocates was started by a guy out of New Jersey, I believe, and he fused his company with Just Vive. And Just Vive is owned by a wonderful CEO named Cami, who's awesome, very awesome, awesomely good person to work for, very down to earth, very, very wholeheartedly sweet person, very knowledgeable. So I fully recommend standing behind her. Okay, so what the product does, or what the services they provide, they do like electricity, phone accounts, satellite, Dish, AT&T, Singular Verizon, Cox, whatever else. So what they do is their claim is that they can help you lower your bills and whatever else. And in the meantime, I believe it's like they split whatever they save you 50%. So you really, out of 100% of what you could have saved, you're getting 50%. Now, for some people, I used to be a manager for AT&T and Singular and Suncom and did corporate launches for all these people. So I have some experience. One of the reasons why I worked for them. I'm no longer with the company, but they weren't a bad company to work for by any means. They let you work from home, and you could kind of make your own hours. The reason why I left had just kind of some differences with one of the managers that was particularly over me. I'm not going to mention any names because it's not that serious. So I went on to find better things. But in general, the money was pretty much on point what they said they were going to make. And everybody, for the most part, 99.99% were good and solid people. They're definitely going to go places. They're making a lot of money. Right now, they're dealing with a little backlog just because they've got so many customers and they haven't even launched fully. So definitely a good growing company to be with. So anyway, to get down to the nitty gritty, there's really no secret to it. Okay, it's like anything. Can you do your own oil change? Yes. Can you fix your own? Can you mow your own lawn? Can you whatever? It's the same thing. So what it is you sign up and you agree to let them have access to your account. They then call in and negotiate a lower rate or a better deal. Now the key to this, which I found out before even working with them, having worked for AT&T and knowing some of the ins and outs, is that if you threaten to cancel or you attempt to cancel, typically you can be sent over to a retention department. Once you're in the retention department, they're authorized to give you, better deals. So this is stuff I already knew before I even worked for the company. I used to do this for myself for years. What it is this company happened to make a service out of it, which is awesome. It does help out a lot of people. When I worked there was a lot of older people who didn't know that or how to do that or were intimidated to do that. So for your average person, you can save yourself some money by merely doing the same thing. You have to speak to like the retention department or whatever else. Like I said, and this experience I'm not saying about from Vive. I'm saying this is what I learned. It just happens to be that they're the same thing. So so what we would do is we would just call up, or I personally even did this before I started working for the company, called, threatened to quit, cancel my services, and what they'll do is they'll say, okay, well, what do you want to cancel? Like for me, it was like AT&T, like the Uverse or the internet or the cell phone. Now you can't really threaten to quit each one and they're going to just give you a deal. Okay, what you probably would be best to do is call one day, for one department, call another for another service you have, and then another week or whatever for a different service. All right. And sometimes you're going to get good reps, sometimes you're going to get bad reps, and depending on which one you get, they may or may not offer you a better deal. So it could be in your best interest to call, and if you don't get what you want, call again on a different day, and obviously don't cancel because then you won't have it. but just say, oh, maybe I'm going to think about it, or we'll see. Okay. So what I learned personally, which happened to be very similar in nature to what occurred with the company, Vive, is that there's a lot of packages and new promotions and things that you can benefit from. If you're a senior, there's senior packages. Verizon is now starting to catch on to this, and they're starting to offer their customers direct contact with you to let you know what promotions come out that you can benefit from. But there's other phone packages like, being like 55 and older, being an older than that senior, military. If you work for like AT&T or whatever, or the federal government or something like that, or even just a big company, let's say like Microsoft, you can call in and they might have a program where you can benefit from that and just get your bill reduced. So a lot of this you can just do yourself. But if you don't want to, or you don't have the time, which that's one thing I will say, is that if you don't have the time, it's going to take you, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to get to the right people. And even then, it might take another hour for you to sit there and talk with them and negotiate it, because they're going to go over all your options and benefits. And some of them you still might have to wait longer or whatever else. And then some of the programs, they don't openly advertise unless you get to the right department, talk to the right rep to get the lowest cost. Now, I'm not going to give away any trade secrets and say, what specific programs I know that are out there, but let's just say that they're out there. And if you want to get close, then you have to get to what they call the retention department and, talk to them and find out which programs they all have. But typically they have a rock bottom price that they can do for like most things. Cell phones, they have better plans, but they're not going to just reduce that plan for you. You can find a cheaper plan. But then there's things like insurance programs that they might have a bare bones version of that you don't need everything that's in there or on there. And then there's, like with Sirius, there's, our lowest price is, let's say $19.99, speaking hypothetically. And then, for instance, you can say, well, hey, I know that there happened to be a $9 version of this, or a $5 version of this, or, $7 version, my neighbor, roommate, or friend got it, and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, they come back on the phone, oh, yes, we can match that, So there's lots of tips and tricks and techniques. I'm not going to give away everything about it, just because it would take too long. I mean, I have a booklet full of all this stuff. But you kind of get the idea. So that's pretty much it, guys. So do I stand behind Vive? Yes, I think it's a great company. I think they're providing a great service. Some people are like, oh, that's lazy, or, oh, I knew that already. And maybe you did. Awesome. All right, well, here's the thing. You didn't create the company, and these people did, and they're making good money out of it. And it's just like mowing lawns. And everybody can pretty much mow their own lawns, but there's some people who need it. They can't get out there and do it. They don't want to do it, whatever. So they do provide a great service. It's definitely something that lots of customers that I worked with would call me personally and thank me for it. And I made good money when I was there. Not as much as I had hoped because of what was advertised, but we still didn't get to the full rollout of everything in full swing. So never know. But anyway, like I said, most of the people there were great. They do deliver what they promise. And if you need that service, go ahead, go to their website and utilize it. Save yourself some time and money. All right, guys. Enjoy the day. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bad Wolf out.